It's so funny. Kyle Pitts he's lived so many lives in the NFL, right? Like generational prospect, promising rookie year, but no touchdowns in America, complete bust. And now he's settled into being like mid-career Austin Hooper.
Man, I was just about to say that because when as you're talking, I'm thinking, man, Austin Hooper was the tight end when the Falcons went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He was all right. He was just like
he was the year. He was the number one tight end in fantasy. Austin Hooper had one amazing year in fantasy football.
Wasn't nothing crazy and then besides that, and that's where that's where Kyle Pitts is.
He's going to have a lengthy career of sorts.
Be more.
Yeah.
Please.
All right, let's jump to the hate list and other people that we hope can be more. Xavier Worthy has increased competition on his own team and difficult competition on the other side of the ball in the Denver defense.
Yeah, we talked about this yesterday as well, where I said I'm closing it out on Xavier Worthy. Since Rashee Rice returned, he's averaging just 8 fantasy points per game, under 4 receptions, under 40 receiving yards a game. And Denver allows the second lowest completion rate on deep passes, which is so much a big part of Xavier Worthy's game. If you're starting Xavier Worthy, that's what you're hoping for. You're hoping for a long touchdown pass, like a 70-yard touchdown that sort of makes your day on that one play. But Denver is so good against that, and he's just not playing or getting enough targets with Rashee Rice back, and obviously Kelsey's always going to get his.
Yep. Fascinating game. I'm very excited for this one.
I think they kill him. I've been on record as saying I think the Chiefs win. I think they cover.
Yep.
They cover the 3.5.
Yeah. So we look at Xavier Worthy's game log since week 7. Not a lot there.
No.
They're still giving him some jet sweeps, some rushing work, but for the most, and he's still getting targets, but it just hasn't been the explosive deep stuff. Yeah. And Rashee Rice takes so much of the intermediate route tree that Worthy was getting for a time. All right, Jameson Williams is my name for the hate list. Yeah.
How can you hate Jameson Williams? Come on.
Well, he was lovable last week against your Commanders. But Lawrence Jackson can go 6 for 90 and a touchdown against the Commanders' secondary at this point. It is an interesting wrinkle with Dan Campbell calling the plays now, and whether that increases the variance for this passing game, which all the chat coming into the season is like, this is going to be like a vertical passing attack. Jameson Williams is going to be have an increased role. Just hasn't really manifested. Maybe Campbell gets back to some of that. But Eagles' defense is a different animal to the Commanders. Yeah,
all I was going to say is like it's so interesting. So it's not only that speculation or anything like that. Like when NBC, we had the Hall of Fame game, the Hall of Fame preseason game, the first game of the season, and it was Chargers-Lions. And so I'm on the field prior to the game, me and Devin McCourty walking around talking to players. That's sort of my shtick, is that I just kind of like, Devin's my guy. And so like Devin and I will walk around. And Devin,
to meet other football men.
That's exactly right. Yeah. Because, Devin has played recently, so he knows all these guys. Yeah. Everyone, I know you guys know this, but just if you ever meet, Devin McCourty might be the nicest person in the universe.
Indeed.
Him or Jason Garrett, honestly, the two of them. Yeah. But so everyone loves Devin. And so I just walk next to him, and then everyone comes up, Devin, and he's like, "Oh, this is Matthew Berry or whatever." And so I just kind of, I ride Devin's coattails, and one of the people that I met through that system was Jared Goff, who, and Jared Goff, I think I told this story before, but Jared Goff says to me, he's like, Devin was asking Jared about the new system, John Morton and the new offense coordinator, and Jared was like, we're throwing in some new wrinkles. It's a lot of the same stuff, but we've got some new wrinkles that we're excited about. And then Jared Goff just literally turns to me and goes, "Don't worry, Jahmyr Gibbs is still going to score plenty of points," with a smile. So it's like he knew who I was or what I did, right? Mm-hmm. And so I said, "All right, so you know what I do. Give me a sleeper." Yeah. And Jared Goff says, Jameson Williams. He's like, he's having a great camp. Like
Jared Goff lied to you.
Well, apparently. But my point is that like it wasn't just sort of like, hey, we think he's going to break out. Like literally the quarterback in an not off the record, I guess, because I just told it on air. but like, you know what I mean? But like in a, not in a press conference sort of way, just a couple of guys BSing on the field prior to a preseason game. He was very bullish on Jameson Williams. So
we talk about this all the time, but if not for the knee, he would have been, I think, the number 1 wide receiver in a draft class that had Drake London and Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave, Jahan Dotson as well. But there is the potential. There's the potential. There's the upside there for Jameson Williams. I just think that with what we've seen on the field so far, and the fact that I think this Eagles defense, Lawrence, might be kind of fixed. I think Jalen Phillips is a real game changer.
He helped them a great deal against the Green Bay Packers, and when you start getting the pass rush, what do you know? the defensive backs start to get a little better. So that's kind of how all that works. So Eagles defense not back to that elite status yet, but definitely on the rise.
Yep. So Jameson Williams, I mean, a lot of people are going to have to start him in their flex if you drafted him. You don't have better alternatives, but for the most part, I wouldn't expect the same type of performance as last week from J-Mo. All right, let's finish up with staying in that game, Lawrence. A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
Angst.com, as I call him. He is on the hate list for you, and I think the reasons are pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, well, the best thing about this is I don't even have to tell you why. He's telling us himself. So shout out to A.J. Brown. You see the quote here, if you got me in fantasy, get rid of me. Like, I couldn't appreciate that more as a fantasy manager. Like, he said, don't hope for nothing, like, just get rid of me. So, you know, we appreciate him for that, and he's not apologizing to anyone for that.
No. I will say this. Didn't he? I feel like A.J. Brown said something very similar to that like 2 years ago. And
Miles
then
Sanders?
it was
Sanders.
Miles Sanders.
Yeah.
That's what it was. It was Miles Sanders who said that to NBC Philadelphia, don't draft me in fantasy. And then he wanted to have like a monster year.
Yeah. Anyway, we heard from A.J. Brown about not apologizing for the comments that he made on this infamous stream.
You know, so me making light of my situation on Twitch with my friend, you know, that's something I'm not apologizing for, you know, because like I said, if you got eyes, you can see that. And so, that's me trying to like laugh through my situation, you know, in that moment where I'm just talking to my friend, having fun with my friend, I'm not apologizing for that. Like I said, because if you have eyes, you can see that. And so, like, it's not that I was throwing anybody on the bus. I'm literally trying to laugh through this. This is tough. Like, but I'm trying to make fun of the situation and to try to get through it.
That's what I'm going to do. When next time I have a bad call, I'm just going to try to make fun of it, laugh at the situation.
Very strange.
I tell you what, if this team was 2-8 and not 8-2, you know, we'd be talking about something here. But I don't even think it's that complicated. So look, I think it's just as simple as this. If you took A.J. Brown in fantasy, you just simply took the wrong Eagles receiver this year. Like, the Eagles offense, not the most innovative offense out there. I think we all know that. They just use their talent and they go win the games, right? But Devontae Smith, wide receiver 13 this year in fantasy, the whole year. He's a top 7 receiver since week 6. Like, let's give him his props. Dallas Goedert is still a top 5 tight end in fantasy. So the guys are getting the points. It's just not A.J. Brown, who's wide receiver 36, and Devontae Smith, don't remember. Do remember. He's a top 10 pick, too.
Yep. Adel Olavi, A.J. Brown, squeaky wheel gets the Greece game incoming. The issue is this has been 10 weeks now.
It has been. I will tell you this. I said, and I ended up losing this bet. They were in the playoffs. Remember the reading the book on the sideline game?
Yeah.
So the next game after that was the Rams game, the Eagles-Rams game in the snow. That was, I think, the divisional round, and that was a game that was on NBC. And so, like, my best bet was, like, A.J. Brown to catch a pass in the first quarter, to get 10 yards receiving. And I think, actually, specifically, it was, like, you know, over 9.5 receiving yards first quarter. I'm like, they're absolutely targeting him. They're all so much was made about the book and blah, blah. And I think I had a larger, I took the over on his receiving yards in the parlay. Neither of them hit. Like, he did, in fairness to me, they gave him one pass that had he caught it, it hit him in the numbers, and he just dropped it. It was like 10 yards deep. And so had he caught the one pass, that would have cashed. So he did drop it. But, like, he didn't do much in that game against the Rams. Like, again, and that was after a week of everyone, like, he's on the sideline reading a book. Yeah. And, you know, like, so no, I disagree with the comment that he might have a big game. But he also, it might be 3 more weeks until he does.
It used to be like that. Like probably 2 years ago, whenever he would say something, then he would go out and have 125 yards. But he's been kind of doing this like every 3 weeks now. Yeah. And it's not happening.
I will tell you, like, we're doing that game. That's our game. Detroit at Philadelphia this Sunday. The 3 of us, Fantasy Football Pregame, will be live from the link on Sunday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern, all the way until kickoff, answering all your questions. Hashtag FF Pregame will be on YouTube and Peacock. Yeah. And then that night, Football Night in America will be live from the link, and I'll be on the sideline. I will have to do a parlay. I will have to do a best bet as part of my role on Football Night in America. I am not touching the Eagles. I might take some unders, but I'm just telling you right now, like I don't have a feel for this offense at all, other than maybe I might take an under. But
Take some
I like
Dallas
Devontae
Goedert.
Smith. Yeah, some Goddard, some Devontae Smith. But, like, Saquon's been up and down. Hurts has been up and down.
Yeah.
Like,
Almost the most frustrating thing with A.J. Brown is that there's clearly a very good player in there somewhere. And it does manifest like week to week, like the game against the Vikings, like he ices it with the big catch at the end. He's still clearly got the talent. It's just that he just completely disappears.
They just don't need him to be that for them to win games. It's really just that simple. And if, like that Vikings game, he was called upon, he made the play because he's still that guy.
Yep, very confusing.
hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotoWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto-World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.